Alright trainers, TaeganAdventures here. So this month, Giratina makes its way into Tier 5 raids in Pokémon Go, and by the time you're watching this, Giratina should have transformed into its Origin Forme. Now, I know some of you might be a little bit unclear on the difference between the Altered and Origin Forme. Basically, the Altered Forme is more tanky and defensive, and the Origin Forme is more offensive and bulky. It's going to be a pretty challenging raid boss in Pokémon Go, but it should take about 2 to 3 high-level players, about 5 low-level players to actually beat, so slightly less than the Altered Forme. Anyway, what I'll be going through today is how Giratina would fare in PvP, as well as your best strategies to beat Giratina Origin in Pokemon Go. So the first thing I would like to go over is Giratina Origin's moveset and stats. Like I've just said, Giratina Origin is more bulky and offensive. Definitely noteworthy is its sky-high attack and HP stat. Definitely a force to be reckoned with in PvP as well as in gyms. In terms of moveset, Dragon Tail and Shadow Ball would be the best DPS-wise, but if you want to go for a mono-type attacker, I'll recommend either Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, or Dragon Tail and Dragon Pulse. Those are the best monotype moves in terms of DPS. Now, just to put the Altered and Origin Forme side by side, let's compare the DPS of each of Giratina Origin and Altered's moveset. In this scenario, both Giratinas are at level 30 and have perfect IVs in all stats, and the Model Defender will be a level 30 Pokemon at 200 defense with neutral effectiveness, and we're assuming neutral weather and no friend boost. As you can see, Giratina Origin trumps over Giratina Altered because of its higher attack stat at level 30, Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, and Dragon Tail, Dragon Pulse, just barely edging out over the best DPS moveset for Giratina Altered, which is Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw. Now, you might be thinking that Giratina Altered has lost its worth, but not all hope is lost because Giratina Altered is pretty defensive, so it can do a lot of damage in the long run. As you can see right here, I've pitched both Giratina Altered and Giratina Origin against a level 30 Mamoswine with Powder Snow and Avalanche and perfect IVs in all stats. Of course, the Giratina Origin and Altered are both level 30 and perfect IVs in all stats. And as you can see in the long run, if you look at the column that says TDO, total damage output, you can see that Giratina Altered does more damage than Giratina Origin in some cases. Noteworthy is that Dragon Claw on Giratina Altered just edges out all of Giratina Origin's movesets in terms of total damage output there. DPS-wise, Giratina Origin still comes out on top because of its higher attack stat, but due to the bulkiness of Giratina Altered, it does more damage in the long run despite having the lower attack stat. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for: how do you beat a Giratina in Pokemon Go, specifically Giratina Origin? Since Giratina Origin has the same typing as Giratina Altered, it would have the same weaknesses: Fairy, Ghost, Dark, Dragon, and Ice type attacks. Now, of course, having the same weaknesses, a lot of the counters will be the same between Giratina in its Origin and Altered form, so if you have not checked out my Giratina Altered raid guide, you should definitely check out that video because a lot of what I'm going to say is basically a repeat of that video. Basically, you want to send in your Dragon types like Palkia, Rayquaza, Dragonite, Salamence, Dialga, Latios, Latias. Those are your sleeper picks for Dragon type counters. Palkia, Dragonite, and Rayquaza are pretty good on offense, especially DPS wise. If you haven't got yourself a legendary like Palkia or Rayquaza, definitely Dragonite, either with Outrage or Draco Meteor, would do comparable DPS. Dragonite and Salamence should be accessible for those of you who have attended or will attend Dragonite and Bagon Community Day. If you want a more tanky counter, definitely go for a Dialga, Latias, or Latios. I would definitely recommend Dialga personally because it has a neutral effectiveness against Dragon types. In terms of Ice types though, Mamoswine and Weavile are your go-tos. You'll want to use the exact same movesets as I recommended in my Giratina Altered raid guide, so definitely check that one out. For Dark types though, you definitely want to go with Tyranitar, your go-to Dark type, as well as by far the best Dark type in the game so far. Weavile is a bit of a glass cannon, so you might want to watch out here. Definitely Tyranitar is going to be a bit more bulky and can deal more damage in the long run. Gengar will be another glass cannon pick, so you should be aware of the ghost type attacks that Giratina Origin might dish out. on you. I would just like to give honorable mentions to Rampardos and Groudon for their sky-high attack stat, as well as some good coverage in Smackdown and Zen Headbutt for Rampardos. In Groudon's case, it would be Earthquake. I know some of you might be worried about Levitate, especially for the main series players who have played Pokemon Platinum. You know that Giratina Origin has the ability that gives it an immunity to all ground-type moves. Fortunately for you guys in Pokemon Go, you do not have to deal with abilities, so ground-type moves should do neutrally effective, so you don't have to be worried about sending in your Groudons with Earthquake like I am recommending right now. Not that Groudon is an amazing or premium counter. You should definitely use the counters I've mentioned before. This one here, I just want to caution you that Groudon with Solar Beam or Fire Blast would not work because those are resisted by Giratina Origin. Now, in terms of the optimal weather when it comes to fighting Giratina Origin, it's basically the same thing as Giratina Altered, so if you have not checked that video out, I'll leave it in the iCard so you can check it out later on. Some of you might be asking, what about Giratina's viability in PvP, raids, and gyms? Now, in terms of gyms, you can use Giratina to counter the common Psychic types as well as Dragon types like Dragonite or Alakazam if you ever see those in gyms. In terms of raid bosses, generally you want to use them on Psychic and Dragon type raid bosses. In fact, there is a really detailed GoHub article that I'll leave in the description that basically goes over the different cases in which you'll want to use Giratina in raids, PvP, gyms, etc. So definitely give that a read if you want more details. But to summarize, against a Latios, your Dialgas, Rayquazas, and Giratinas are going to be pretty viable. For Mewtwo and Deoxys, Giratina, Origin, and Gengar are your two best picks. Depending on the moveset of your raid boss, you might want to try out a different moveset on your Giratina. If you want some details, please check out the GoHub article I've linked in the description after you watch this video. Giratina Origin is sure to bring some good firepower in raids. Now, in terms of PvP usage, though, Giratina would be most viable in the Master League. It has a really high CP. I think it's above 2500 already at level 20, so it's not going to be usable in the Great and Ultra Leagues. In terms of how it performs in the Master League, it definitely is a pretty good Dragon and Ghost type. Like I've shown you earlier, the DPS on Giratina Origin is just insane, so it is definitely a valuable asset. If you want to bring out a Giratina Origin of your own, definitely try it out sometime in the Master League or in PvP tournaments if they allow for it. So yeah, that's going to be it for my Giratina Origin video here. I hope you have learned something from this video, and now you should be prepared for a Giratina Origin to pop up in Tier 5 raids in Pokemon Go. I hope you've had an awesome day and you've enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. So I'm going to be signing off right now. This has been TaeganAdventures, and I shall see you in the next video. Peace out.